He is credited with developing the Chuckwagon. They used Chuckwagons on the JA. They had two that went out with the crew of cowboys and covered the country working the cattle. There's Edwin Smith is an artist of the turn of the century, and he has some photographs of the Chuckwagon, and you see this big fly, this canvas sort of tent that went out from the Chuckwagon, and they cooked under it, and then the cowboys stayed in teepees. And so they would go to a location, they would have their remuda, the group of horses for those that don't know, and they would go and get their horses every morning, and they go out and work one area. They might go southeast today, and then tomorrow they would go due southwest the next day and round up cattle and brand them and sort the yearlings off to take to the market. And then they just sort of work this whole area where the Chuckwagon was. And then they'd move the wagon and go to the next area. And you'd have the remuda, they'd bring it up and they'd hold them in rope corrals. These cowboys would stand there holding ropes. And the herd would be in there, and the foreman would go in and rope out everybody's mount for the day. And then they'd let them go, and they'd have a wrangler who would take care of the horse herd. But that's an incredible thing to me that I actually, when I was a little kid, I saw it done in New Mexico, and it works. You know, and the cattle don't run over those ropes. I mean, the horses don't run over those ropes. But it works very well. So that was the mechanics of how they ran the ranch, and the wagons actually went out until the 50s. And there's a fellow named Jiggs Mann that would be really worth your time interviewing, because Jiggs went out with the wagon into the 50s. So that's incredible to me that they operated like that until the 50s. But if you think about it, trailers and pickups weren't used like they were today until about the 50s. So it makes sense.
So they actually